Okay, so we should be streaming, and let me just, as always, quickly check that we're streaming in order to share the stream over social media. Okay, it seems all right. So let me just go here, quickly copy paste the link for the stream on my LinkedIn post, which you can't see because I'm not sharing my LinkedIn. I hope so. I hope I'm not sharing LinkedIn. And yeah, okay. There's something weird about LinkedIn's like post, like dialogue for creating posts. It doesn't always like let you like add like this link to generate like preview images. So it's weird, but what can we do? Guess nothing. Let me. Okay, so let me just create a post, and it's done. It's done. It's up and running. Okay, okay. So already posted everything on LinkedIn. Okay, and as you read in the title of the stream, MCP. Why are we talking about MCP? If in theory, on the past, we determined that MCP wasn't a way to go, especially since we thought, or at least I thought, that MCP was only like available on Claude and Anthropic's like models. Now, I been doing some research, some offline, let's say, development of the project research, and many research on like the technical assessment that we were doing, because that's the thing we're doing. Basically, we're doing a technical assessment, assessing what technology we can use before creating like the final product, or the final software version, whatever. So yeah, what I'm trying to get is that did some assessments offline and figure out a couple things. First thing I figured out is that MCP or auto open there are open source models that like that are like compatible with MCP. So it's not like it's not like only Claude supports MCP. Which I don't know why, but in the first streams, we thought, or I thought, that you couldn't do it. Now, doing some research, and I did actually, well, I haven't shown you guys, but I have like a whiteboard on my background where I usually like draw things, or draw like schemas, not schemas, or diagrams, or flows, or charts of how I design stuff. And I was like drawing a couple things there, here, and there. I will show you, but I would have to reach out for my whiteboard on the back, and there's no need, because although I prefer drawing with my hands, we do have GIMP here. So let's leverage GIMP, and I'm sure you'll see like the drawings better on GIMP. Oh, sorry. It's late and I'm tired, but I'm I still have energy to work on MINA. So I was basically doing like some diagramming. I don't know if that's a verb, but I was doing some diagrams, and I had like a previous using like the previous technologies that we were reading about with launching. Things look a little bit messy. I was thinking about scalability, and how are we gonna scale MINA, because how am I gonna integrate the MINA intelligence system with other systems? So, for example, what if I need in the future to expand and integrate Google APIs or Microsoft APIs to Gmail or Calendar or OneDrive or whatever? So, yeah, it had that. And so the extensibility, I was thinking about extensibility, and I was also thinking about like the complexity of the development itself, because for something to be scalable, it should be easy to modify, right? And I did like this drawing on when I was doing this offline research in design, and I had like this agent here, and basically I had or this model, this agent, let me call it AG, and you had like multiple uh like actual multiple tools which I'm just gonna color with a red T for simplicity's sakes. But again, I was thinking about like the granularity of tools. If you want like tools or you want the LM to be intelligent enough to reason about like when to use what tools or what type of tools you want to provide to the model, you need to provide like granular tools. You need to provide like specific tools of what it's capable of doing. So now these tools are written in a library and locked, not in a library locked, but in a library dependent way. So for example, if I were to use LangChain, I would have to build this integration for LangChain uh, for each tool on like on everything on not on everything, but I would have to be like this integration for this service that I would like to integrate with Mina uh, every time that I would like to build or to integrate Mina with another system, or if I was using another thing than LangGraph, maybe Vercel's AI SDK, something like that, I would also have to build some kind of integration by myself, and build integrations and thinking like in the future I would have to build ton of integrations, because what about my like my file system, or what about you know I would have to build like an integration for my file system, and then like write tool calls for the LLM, so the LLM can actually uh, call specific tools for interacting with my file system. What if I want to a tool that rearranges like windows. Now, like right now, I'm using Hyperland because I'm on a Wayland Gen 2 desktop GUI environment. So I will have to write an integration specific for that for that functionality. Now, writing integrations, those integrations are depending, or the form that the integrations have uh, come in that are like very dependent on the library I'm using, and that's like a no-go because that's not standardized way, and I was thinking like this is not a standard way. I need a more structured standard way, easy to build and replicate version of or like way to build in these integrations. Then I remembered that we had MCP, which again when I first read about MCP, probably one of the greatest protocols I've ever read, because incredible what you can do with MCP. And when I have MCP, then I'm not thinking about the agent as like or MINA as just like like an orchestrator that called tools, and I have to define all these tools, but more like MCP host uh, like a host, which would be MINA, with one or multiple clients that talks to multiple servers. Now, servers, so I'm gonna write S1, S2, S3, like like Amazon's S3 bucket for blobs in S4. Now this looks and this feels more modular, of course, because you know now you have like this predefined protocol for communicating LLMs with other external services, and now I don't have to build like these full integrations for my library. For example, I don't have to build like say like a calculator tool for LangChain, or I don't have to build whatever a operating system, file system, or a windowing system uh, tool, or a hardware tool, or a tool that communicates with my refrigerator or whatever. I don't have to build specific tools for that specific library, in this case LangChain or whatever library I'm using. I will have like a standardized like way, a protocol which I really like as an developer slash engineer, whatever. I love protocols. Protocols are things that, you know, for example, ever since the TCP/IP standard protocol, whatever, or set of protocols was like set, the internet became a thing, and I think that MCP is like the way to go for standardized communication between models and external services. By external services, I mean like third-party services. So what I was saying is that I don't need to build like lots of servers or MCP servers by myself, since there are already lots of MCP servers built. MCP has become very popular ever since like November 20 of last year, when it dropped, when Anthropic open sourced it. And um, I might as well leverage all these MCP servers. Might need to build a couple MCP servers here and there, especially for like internal MINA, inner workings. But yes, I think MCP is the way to go. I know some Mistral and Llama models. Obviously, Cloud supports this protocol because Anthropic's, because it's like Anthropic's protocol, or they developed it. But yes, as I see it right now, it's like a good design, and it's a clean design using MCP. Viewing Mina as an MCP host with one or multiple clients that connect to multiple servers. Sounds like a really modular way to design Mina. I feel like it's great. It's great. It's concise. It eliminates a lot of like the complexities, or the complexities that I had, or the issues that I had with LangChain and LangGraph, especially with LangGraph, because I was doing some research and I asked GPT for some feedback, and he told me that, oh, yes, it could feel like more less flexible using graphs, because it was like a more hybrid approach, where you do some you partially distribute, like orchestration between you and the LLM, or the programmer and the LLM, or the code logic and the LLM. So it felt like a bit rusty, so I didn't like that. Then you had other kind of agents, like React agents, where yeah, where you do have like this explicit control over over like the model orchestration to one call tools, tool calls called tools. Yes. So yeah, it felt rusty. I didn't like it, and MCP. I didn't. I'm not gonna say that I figured out, but I realized because I already knew about it, but I had discarded it in the past because my ignorance, and it appears that I needed to do some more research and not just a high level quick search on on ChatGPT, which it's something you need to notice because in just that situation you can notice like how you know how easy it is for people to have misconception of information if they don't take the time to do some research and just rely on potentially hallucinated responses, my LLMs like GPT. And yeah, my conclusion for the first part of this, small like not small but stream is that yes, MCP, as you can see, MCP is probably the way to go, and we're gonna go ahead and use MCP for the first draft, at least for the initial first draft. Let us explore and discover if we encounter any issues. And so, I just wanted to say one more thing, which I like about MCP, and is that okay, it doesn't matter if I'm building uh, with Python, with Go, with Rust, with Java, with TypeScript, with COBOL, with I don't know, Lisp, with I don't know, uh, whatever language you can think, Lua. It doesn't matter if I'm developing with Lua or with C. Um, the underlying communication between MCP components stays the same because it's a protocol, it's an open standard, so I am free to build with whatever language I want. That's like a great thing I like because I'm going with LangGraph and having to use maybe Python for to take advantage or of the more of of the community and the libraries, or go the other option was using TypeScript, which again I'm not the biggest fan of TypeScript because it's basically a linter on top of JavaScript. And yes, and the other options were to use an unsupported or maybe third party provided, like adapters for these libraries. For example, there was an incomplete, by the way, adapter for LangChain in Go, LangChain Go it's called, but it's incomplete. It's not like fully featured as a LangChain library and LangGraph library. So so I really like about MCP is that I can use literally whatever I want. If I want to build my MCP server in C++ because I'm somehow like a little bit crazy and I don't like myself and I like C++ and I develop in C++ because I like it for some reason, then I can't do it. But maybe I wanna quickly draft a server, an MSP server, and I'm going to use TypeScript, or I want to build like my full-blown like the product version of the server, and want to leverage like Rust for its memory management capabilities. So yeah, maybe that's like a really great thing about MCP, which is language agnostic, and it's language agnostic, model agnostic, uh, library agnostic, probably everything agnostic. I like protocols, and I compare this like to whatever like what the example I gave earlier about the TCP/IP stack and when it emerged. I think this MCP could be the new TCP/IP for communicating between protocols. Yes, okay. So yeah, what we're doing now is, you know, I read about MCP, did some read, but I didn't dive deep into it. like for the inner workings. So for today's stream, which will be kind of short, because I arrived earlier to my house today. We're gonna read documentation and quickly do maybe a couple tutorials or a couple quick starts to develop to check out you know MCP and explore MCP and whenever we finish exploring MCP, which I'm 90% it's the way to go. 9% sure it's the way to go. We'll develop the actual like POC POV version of MINA. I'm using MCP, which sounds exciting because it sounds more clear and more concise now that we have like this initial design. I should probably I don't know, I don't want to do it now, but in the future I might need to document this design. Uh, but again, it's part of an implementation of a protocol. So yeah. Now, by the way, I just assume that you guys know whatever MCP is, and because we talked about it on like the first or second stream, so I'm just assuming. Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, so for today, learning about MCP, and that's it. I want to just firstly discuss why MCP, then take the time and read about MCP in the like the official documentation. Thing I don't like, by the way, about this is that with the little I have read about MCP, is that there is not an official Go SDK, which is okay. I'm sure that there are or there will be an MCP and a Go MCP SDK in the future, and if not, I'm sure we could. It would be fun to take the time and write it ourselves. Why not? But again, I would have to maintain it and probably would not be like taking like the most updated version or would not have like the most updated version of the MCP. Would have to update it and that's another like 100 things to do to think about. And the purpose of Mina is not being like building like everything from scratch, although most things we're trying to build from scratch. The more like repeatable things we will be using a standard library or protocol or whatever. But again, let's get started and read about. Okay, so you have a couple. Okay, so let us read it. Okay, and by the way, guys, this might be boring for you guys, but it's what we have to do to learn about MCP, and you know, uh, it's the whole point of the live stream, so you can live view and view like my whole learning process. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking less to you guys and more focused on this. So yeah, so it says introduction. Get started with MCP. It's an open source and standardizes, and it's an open source protocol that standardizes how applications provide context to LLMs. Okay, as think of MCP like a USB port for AI applications, just as USB-C provides a standard way to connect your devices to various peripherals and accessories. MCP provides a standardized way to connect AI models to different data sources and tools. Okay, mm, I might be reading like not out loud because want to be faster and want to move faster right now. Won't focus much the audience, because really want to learn about this. So sorry guys. Okay, so okay, helps me build agents and complex workflows on top of LLMs. Okay, LLMs frequently need to integrate with data and tools, and MCP provides a growing list of pre-built integrations that your LLM can directly plug into. Okay, so that's the thing we want. We want pre-built integrations because there are common things that we wouldn't like to build ourselves. Then you have the flexibility to switch between LLM providers and vendors. Okay, which we want because we want our own like locally hosted LLM. Then you have best practices for securing your data within your infrastructure. Okay, journal architecture. So it's a client-server architecture. Most of us guys in the engineering side of things or the web development side of things are familiar with client-server architecture, so nothing to worry about. You have like a host application can connect to multiple servers. Host with MCP client. So yes, you have like a host with an MCP client. The host application has an MCP client. The MCP client connects via the MCP protocol to different servers A, B, C. Each server can connect to other sources like data source A, B, or to web APIs via the internet. Okay, MCP host programs like Cloud Desktop. Okay, Cloud Desktop IDEs or AI tools that want to access data through MCP. Clients, protocol clients that maintain one-to-one connection with servers. Okay, MCP servers, lightweight programs that each expose specific capabilities to a standardized model context protocol. Okay, so MCP servers, it says that they are lightweight. I wonder how lightweight are they? You can have local data sources like my computer files, databases, and services that MCP servers can securely access. You also have remote services that external systems. Okay, so I have like the get started for server developers, for client developers, and for cloud desktop users. Uh, then I have okay, so I have the get started guides. Then I have a couple examples. Okay, before going for like the actual like quick start, I might want to get like more information on the core like protocol, so I might want to read a little bit more, and after that, want to get my hands dirty with these couple quick starts. But yes, okay, okay, XQ. Someone messaged on the chat. They wrote XQ. Someone called XQ, but it says message retracted. I'm guessing YouTube somehow blocked it, so won't be able to read it. But thanks for for your message, I guess, dear viewer. Okay, so then you have a couple tutorials. Probably will jump from like the core concepts to a quick start to tutorials. So might be I think it might be wiser to start with a quick start to get my hands dirty faster, I guess. Then okay, so yeah, I can explore like the core concepts, core architecture. Okay, I am. Mm, okay, so I think I might want to start reading the core architecture, and after that, get my hands dirty. Not sure, not sure. Uh, what about the quick start? Let me just because I it says I have quick starts for client servers and cloud desktop users, but I don't really understand yet what are client servers and well I do know it's because it's simple to understand the protocol actually it's pretty simple, but I don't get like the what does it assume what knowledge does developing server or a client for MCP assume? So let me read quickly on the architecture because it sounds like it seems short. So understand how MCP connects clients and servers and LMs. So the MCP is built on flexible, extensible architecture that enables seamless communication between LLM applications and integration. This document covers the architectural component and concepts. So MCP follows client-server architecture where I have a host, which are LLM applications like Cloud Desktop. I might want to get Cloud Desktop to try it out, but I don't know if it's available on Gento. I don't think it's available on Gento. Cloud Desktop Gento. Uh, Download Cloud. Uh, Download for Windows, Mac OS, and Windows for the ARM64 architecture. Just as I thought, there's no. There is. Okay, there is. Cloud Desktop is an Electron app. Okay. Cloud Desktop Linux. So. Okay. You know, I just read Nix here. I want to try this out. I want to try Nix out. It's this package manager slash operating system. It says, do you have access to Cloud AI? I just wanted, I'm reading, by the way, I'm reading someone chatted here. It says, chatted. I don't know if that word even exists. It says, do you have access to Cloud AI? I just wanted to ask you to help me register in Cloud AI. I just bought numbers for the US VPN New York and couldn't register. Uh, okay, okay. I don't have access to Cloud AI if you mean like if I pay something to get access to the cloud like actual LM, I don't have access to it. I just want to ask you to help me register in Cloud AI. I just bought numbers for the US VPN New York and couldn't register. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't really know about. I just need it. I just need it from the USA. Okay. Okay. So you need like a phone number from. Okay, so you need like a phone number for registration. Is that it? Is that what you're asking? You just need a number from the US, New York. Okay. I don't know if that's what you mean, but if that is what you mean, I'm sorry. I can't help you. And not because I don't want to. But I don't have like a phone number from the USA or New York. I'm not from there. I'm not American enough or at all. So can't help you there. But I would probably help you if I could. Yes, that's a shame. Sorry, but good luck trying to find like someone that shares the number. I don't know who are you, but in this space, especially AI and security, and there there are risks to sharing your phone number. Uh, but yes, good luck. Maybe you know, if isn't there like another way to register without like a phone number? Do I need like a phone number to register? That's interesting because that's interesting, and that's like this is a situation where you can see how these big companies want to acquire your personal data. Like they want your phone number first, then they ask for I don't know your email, your birth date, or and that's like how they start. But I don't know. I noticed this because I'm like really into OPSEC, a lot of my SecOps, my security, my how I where's my data on the internet. Really, I'm really n- let's put it this way. I'm really um, okay. By the way, why did you check? Uh, why, by the way, did you check GenSpark or Cortex? I just distracted myself reading your comment. No, I don't know what's that. Let me take a look on it. GenSpark or Cortex AI? GenSpark, Cortex. Okay. GenSpark. It says, okay, it's loading. Cortex login. Okay, GenSpark Super Agent. Interesting. I know why this is. What is like this GenSpark AI? Is it like some kind of okay, okay, GenSpark Super Agent. Research me. A slides, generate video. Okay, it seems like a very intelligent AI thingy. I'm assuming it's an agent. Deep research, video generation, image generation, super agent. What is this? Is it like stop stop where? In short, Gensper has 200 free tokens per 1 day. Uh, okay, okay, so yeah, it's like press all agents. Let me see. Okay, you have advanced agents, fact check, agentic data table, agentic deep research. Okay, basic. Okay, so it seems like it's some kind of advanced, like really fully featured. Uh, there's super agent. It press what can you do? Seems like a advanced like model, like fully login application. It requires me to log in. I'm not gonna log in because I don't. Well, maybe I log in or maybe I explore this technology, but I haven't checked this. I'm gonna save this. Might be worth reading about it. The other thing you mentioned was Cortex AI. Again, it seems like these both platforms. Well, I logged in through Google. Yes, I could go log in through Google. It's single sign, not single sign on, but login via Google. It's like a very like a good thing. Not like a good thing, but like a one of the best things that people created for like quickly logging into systems. OAuth 2 and OIDC, these couple protocols. Uh, Great. It says Courage AI write shorter Suna AI GitHub. Okay. Let me copy paste whatever you just said. Uh, Maybe is this thing Cortex AI Suna open source journalist AI agent. Okay, interesting. Uh, it's an open source AI assistant that helps you accomplish real world tasks with ease through natural conversation. Okay, so does this have like some kind of like voice activation? Because that's one of the main things we're trying to achieve here on with MINA. Like the way you use Jarvis, like you activate Jarvis with your voice. We're trying to get to that thing. But yes, so things like you can run locally and self-host it with my own infrastructure. You'll need the following requirements. Okay, so interesting. It says I need API keys for LLM providers, especially Anthropic. Now, a key thing that we're trying to develop here with MINA, with this project, is that this MINA application, yeah, there's a 10-minute per month free plan. Okay, sounds great. These technologies that you mentioned here, they sound great. But there's like a caveat here, and Mina it's like an open source local first agent. We're trying to build like we're trying to be we're trying to build here something that you can run on your computer without the need to access any kind of third-party services for LLM or LLM or whatever AI reason. So the idea is that you can install Mina or this Jarvis version of this version of Jarvis on your computer and run your models on your computer and run everything on your computer without the need to consume tokens from these services. But this sounds interesting, and I might need to take a look into it. Then it says, I thought you were going to test GenSpark or Suna. I could test them. I could test them, and you know what? What else I can do? I could get some inspiration from the code base, since they're open source. I may want to check out how they build stuff and leverage here and there a couple maybe files or lines. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this couple too. But yes. Mm, okay, so should I take? Okay, I don't know if I should take a look on this first because if I read this, I'm assuming. Well, I just read something about Claude, so I'm assuming this, for example, this Suna, like tool or application, uses MCP. They have their own website, really. Uh, Okay, let me check their website. But what I was saying is that I'm assuming that this code base uses Cloud for Cloud not, but MCP for communicating servers and clients, and that may mean that I should probably know more about MCP and not just like the uh, high level stuff. So yeah, you said right in faith. Okay, they have their own. Okay, you know, but yes. By the way, interesting stack here. Frontend, Next.js. Then you have Fast API, which I believe those are like REST APIs. See Python on here, so yeah. So yeah, what we're gonna do, guys, or viewer, because I see I have a couple of viewers now, is that we're gonna leave this for later, but we probably on next stream, or maybe I do it offline, so you guys don't get that bored. If that bores you, uh, we're gonna check out these couple technologies, this GenSpark and Cortex, like, well, not Cortex, but Sunas, the AI assistant, open source assistant, leader. But for now, we probably will continue, and we will continue reading more about the core and inner workings of MCP. You know, by the way, XQ, or I don't know if that's means pronounced. Okay, XQ, thanks for your comments. Didn't know about this technology, so uh, It's always good to know about how other people approach things. So yeah, uh, what a nice guy. Thanks. Where I was going and to not get much distracted is core architecture. Yep, we were reading about the core architecture, you know. So I already knew that you have the host, and each host have can have like one or multiple clients, and then you communicate each client with one or more servers, you know. And the way they communicate, as far as I'm concerned, is that you can have either HTTP communication, and you wrap up your server your server on some kind of HTTP API, could be REST API, or you could also do standard IO for communication. So yeah, um, I'm reading the chat here and it says, well, there's also Obscure AI, but it's paid. I can't test it. Obscure AI. Let me. Okay, so I know I said we were going to read about this MCP protocol and networkers, but just let me quickly check out this Obscure AI thingy, because we might need to take some inspiration from these other projects. It's a super assistant for enterprise and professionals. Abacus. No, Obscure AI. You said Obscure AI, and it says Obscure AI. Did you? I'm gonna assume that you misspelled that because I don't see much on Abacus. There's Digpin up there. Gigapent. Uh, okay, let me read this quickly. So, super assistant for enterprises and professionals. First AI super assistant built on our state-of-the-art Gen AI technology. Okay, create an AI brain for your organization. Okay, sounds like something. There's a blue line at the top. Okay, okay, so it says chat LLM and agent LLM. You want me to click this? I'm guessing it. So yeah, have or deep agent. Abacus. Okay. Okay, so this blue line at the top lets me click on chat LLM teams, one AI assistant with access to all top LLMs, web search, video, image generator, AI coding assistant included. Okay. Okay, so this seems like some kind of like all-in-one AI agent slash assistant that integrates with like infrastructure and services used by companies. And it says $10 per user, bill monthly. Okay, so again, yes, it won't be open source. I'm guessing it won't be open source, especially since they build for usage. But yes, access to many more SOTA model experience the fundamentals. So yeah, it seems this seems like a great product. I don't know why like people aren't using, or not people, but I don't know why companies aren't like buying this stuff. I don't know if companies are buying this stuff. At least my company, they haven't buy any of this stuff. And the company I work in, they're trying to build. Not gonna get into the details of. No, there's a chat. No, there is a chat LLM. Yes, I'm viewing chat LLM. Because one AI assistant. No, there is a chat LLM. Uh, yes, there's a chat. Okay. So this assistant is a chat. Okay, so oof. Okay, so it seems like a very complete, not this page. maybe maybe if you link it to me, if you link the page to me, would be easier. Because I don't know if you're talking about this thing. Maybe if I click chat LLM, but again, I get here. Where is the LLM chat? Are you asking me? I don't know. Never. It's the first time I see this thing. I'm guessing that they had the chat available and then they removed it and everything is okay. Where's the LLM chat? And everything is okay. Okay. I'm guessing that yes, they had like this chat LLM like open, not open source, but open for usage, and then they removed it. But yes, um, interesting stuff. It's a shame that I can't get inspiration from from the from their code base because it looks like a very not complex, but mm, fully integrated application. Something like we're trying to like similar like what we're trying to build here, but we're trying to build it on the open source and you know local first approach. It says okay, so yeah, who uses okay, who uses this? I'm curious to know like who uses this tool or application. Abacus AI, Abacus AI. What companies use Abacus AI? It says that Fortune 500. I would be interested if you tested them. Yeah, I could test them. It sounds good. It sounds interesting. I would have to invest some money in it. And yes, for example, it says that we have to pay like, but I don't know. This is an enterprise thing, you know. I don't know if I can have like if I can get like a free tier version, or like a beta version of it, so I can you know experiment with it. But I would have to invest in it. Probably on next streams, I'll take it into account. Maybe not now, but maybe because I here in well, I'm from Latin America, and spending $10 in a subscription for something, it's not like like the cheapest, especially with this economy. That sounded like something like an old person would say, especially with this economy. But yes, we have to make an assessment. But this sounds interesting, and I'm gonna save this. I wanna save this Abacus or Abacus AI, GenSpark, and Suna. I'm gonna keep this here. I know you said it would sound interesting if I check them like on this stream, but I would or should probably focus on the research and development of MINA as of now. Maybe I can do like some kind of short video, not short video, but um, like a short stream or a less extensive stream, and or like I can do like a video offline and upload it in the future, testing out all these you know agents or whatever. How do I call them? Like agents or assistants or already built things, AI applications, and that we can get some inspiration from. But yes, continuing with our journey, MCP, uh, MCP. By the way, thanks XQ again for for sharing your knowledge. Didn't know about those tools, or they sound interesting. And yeah, it says host. Okay, okay. So servers provide context tools, prompts to clients. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we have the core components. You have the protocol layer, which handles message framing, request response, linking, and high-level communication patterns. Okay, what does that mean? Because like yes, that's a question I had or I asked myself before, like how do how does a host with a client, how does an MCP host with a client know like what server to use? Like how does the communication go in, or how does the communication function? Like how does this component, this this host or client component know like what server to use in which case? Because when you build like something launch an application, you provide like a description of each tool call, and each and then the LAM makes some internal reasoning to determine like what tool to actually call. But yeah, and so that's my question. Like, if these are two separate processes, if I have process number one being like my host MCP host application with a client or multiple clients, and then I have another process which is like my server, like and well not another process but multiple other processes which are MCP servers. How does the communication, or how is my host aware that of these other servers on the capabilities of their servers? That's a question. So it says the protocol layer handles message framing. I'm guessing that's okay. So I have some networking knowledge, and I'm guessing message framing could be analogous to the actual like packaging of the message or the format. Then it says request response linking and high level communication patterns. Um, so for example, key classes include protocol, client, and server. Okay, here I have like a class. I don't know why they're showing me a class, but I do have a class, and it says protocol. I have class protocol. It says handler request, schema, handler, schema and handler, set notification handler. Okay, I don't know what's it. Okay, so then I have the transport layer, which handles the actual communication with the clients and the servers. Okay, MCP supports multiple transport mechanisms. So it has standard I/O transport, uses standard input for communication, ideal for local processes. I'm thinking, and I'm almost 100, well, maybe not 100, but 99.9% sure that we will be using, or we would be using standard I/O communication for our transport layer. Because I mean, if we're building purely local applications or purely local native um, like this MINA system, we won't need any kind of um, any kind of network access. So let's keep the network access for as a last resource, because it's network isn't cheap. Network resources are expensive. But yeah. Then you have an option to have a transport layer via HTTP with server-side events or SSE transport. Never used SSE. I know it exists. I've heard of it. Uh, I've heard of it in terms of, a blog. I mentioned it, or an article here and there, or maybe on a YouTube video, but never done SSE on server-side events. It uses HTTP okay, so it uses SSE for server to client messages and post for client to server messages. All transports use JSON RPC. Makes sense, makes sense to use RPC to exchange your messages. If I would, okay, so it's JSON RPC, and I know We might not need to get into this performance, this over performance overhead, but if I was trying to build like the fully, like the most, performant protocol, I would use probably something like gRPC, Google's RPC for binary communication instead of JSON, because although JSON gives you visibility to debug like API communication, you get like this overhead performance on JSON parsing and you know JSON is to JSON, it's not cheap to decode and encode JSON. But again, it says that all transport use JSON RPC, which makes sense. To exchange messages, see the specification for detailed information about the MCP format. And you have message types. MCP has three main messages: requests, results, and errors. Request expects what requests expect a response from the other side. Okay, results are successful responses to requests, and errors indicate that a request failed. Then you have notifications, which are one-way messages that don't expect a response. Okay, okay. So the connection life cycle, initialization. Okay, the client sends an initialize request. Okay, okay. So this is interesting. This reminds me a lot of how can I put it? I might put like the TCP three, like the TCP three-way or three handshake like way of establishing sessions. And so, okay, I like it. I like it. I like that these Cloud guys or these Anthropic guys took the time to even document this as well as this and as clear as it looks. Clear, simple way to initialize. Like connections. So client sends initialize request with protocol version and capabilities. Great that they send protocol version first. This makes me think that they make this with accessibility in mind, not only on like what we need right now, but thinking of the future and how the protocol can evolve and have different versions. Okay, so the client sends version and capabilities responds with its protocol version and capabilities. I don't know what capabilities mean, but I'm guessing it's like each version of the MCP has different ways or different capabilities. The client sends an initialized notification as acknowledgement, and then normal exchange message begins. Okay, so this sounds like really similar to um, okay, this is really similar to TCP/IP. Not TCP/IP, but TCP like the three-way handshake. You have init, then you have then you have init, but you get like sync, then you have syncAC to synchronize and acknowledge. You have syncAC, and then another acknowledge message. So yeah, you have that on the hand. So this is really analogous to like the TCP handshake for establishing sessions, which I like. I feel familiar with this like whole like initialization protocol protocol. Okay, so you first establish like some kind of session or connection lifecycle. This is how they call it. Uh, then you have a message exchange. So after initializing or analogous to establishing a session in as if it was TCP, the following patterns are supported. You get a request response or you get notifications. Okay, so request response client or server send request, the other response. Well, I don't know what this response have. Then you have notifications. If the party sends one-way messages. Okay. And then, okay, so you have like initialization, which is like a TCP session, initializing like a action session. Then you have message exchange, which are detailed in TCP, but are analogous to whatever protocol is TCP using on the like on the top. Like if you're using HTTP, then you have like message that those type of message exchanges, like HTTP get posts and whatever not. In this case, we have request response notifications, which could be bidirectional communication or unidirectional communication. Then you have another, let's say, another step or another stage on the life cycle of the connection, which is the termination, where either party can terminate the connection, clean shutdown via close, and it says a close function. Uh, Okay, so since this is gRPC and gRPC is basically calling methods or calling functions via APIs, it makes sense because close, okay, then it's transport disconnection and conditions. Then you have error handling. I'm gonna finish reading these core concepts or core architecture, and I'm gonna jump to some tutorial quick start on Xstream, not on the Xstream because it's getting kinda late. Okay, so MCP defines these standard error codes. I like it that you have standard error codes just like HTTP. I'm comparing this protocol a lot with TCP and HTTP because I like that you have standard error codes just as if it was like HTTP status codes. And you have error code parse error, invalid request, method not found, invalid params, and internal error, and these errors look like they are signed int 32s, probably a bit bigger in date, but I don't know what size of integers are these. I could make the calculations, but they're as unsigned int. I'm not unsigned, but signed integers. Okay, interesting. Then as the case, and applications can define their own error codes above 32,000, well, minus 32,000. Error reports are propagated through error responses to requests, error events to on transports, protocol level error handlers. So this is an implementation example. Here's a basic example of implementing an MCP server. Okay, interesting. And again, they give me Python and a TypeScript. I don't know why, but I feel like somehow TypeScript is, although a little bit more verbose, in some way more clear and easy to read just because you have types and stuff, and I can see like when something is like a variable, like a variable that holds a reference to some kind of string value or some kind of object in memory, whether it's not object in memory but struct or some kind of interface or whatever. Okay, so this is a quick snippet of an MCP server. So you create a new server, you pass the name, the version, the capabilities, and you handle requests, set request handler, list resource request schema, and okay, so request handler, and it returns an array of resources, which is like an an object, which are like objects with URL names. Then you connect to transport, which await server. Okay, so okay, I don't understand most of this. I understand like what what things are doing, like functions, async functions, returning constants, whatever important things. But I need to get my hands dirty to truly like understand like when to use each of these uh, components or parts of the code snippet. You have best practices, transport selection. Interesting. Okay, so they do not only define like the protocol, but best practices the same way you can define like HTTP, but they also define best practices and say that you probably wouldn't use HTTP for I don't know like video streaming in most or plain HTTP, right? Not talking about the streaming capabilities of HTTP. Okay, so transport selection. Anyway, it says local communication for local processes, which we're gonna be using because MINA is an open first, or like not open first, but local first project. Then you have efficient for same machine communication. Yep, everything will be communicated on same machine, and simple process management also easier to work with processes, right? So remote communication for use server-side events for scenarios requiring HTTP compatibility and consider security implications, including authentication and authorization. Yep, having I don't know why, but I don't see myself. Well, in this situation, I see why we are not would not be using it, but I don't see uh, why anyone would host on the web like an MCP server or expose it via SSE. I'm guessing that if you want like to sell like a proprietary like MCP server and you don't want anyone to have access to it, but again, why would anyone like why would anyone like delete not delete but why would anyone like have like a proprietary MCP server? I think like the proprietary thing about like a system would be like the underlying service that the MCP server would be providing. But yeah, so yeah, I don't see why use MCP servers over HTTP in most cases. Again, it might be have it might have some reason for its existence, but again, another best practice is message handling, request processing, valid inputs. Okay, so uh, same standards and same best practices that all type of APIs, type safe schemas, handle errors, timeouts, whatever, progress reporting, error management, security considerations. When TLS for remote connections, la la la. Okay, debugging, logging, log protocol events. Okay, diagnostic testing. Okay, so we already read about this. You know, I have streamed for about 1 hour and 12, almost 13 minutes. And guess what? I know we've been doing short streams or maybe short to non-streams. Yesterday I had some technical issues and I had to delete the stream at all. But yeah, announcement. Tomorrow we're ending stream by the way. So this is my ending of the stream. And so announcements for tomorrow. Tomorrow probably no, there will be no stream. Although we should because it's Thursday, but it's Labor Day in my country, so it's holiday, and we'll be taking probably time off. But this coming weekend, we'll be having uh, free time, you know, and free time means I can work on the project more, and that means that I will probably make a couple streams, maybe, maybe if I do stream 2 times, I would do like two short, medium to short streams, no more than 3 hours, or I could dedicate like maybe Saturday or Sunday, like full, like a long string, like plus 6 hours of string. No, not sure. But yes, in short, tomorrow no stream. Saturday or Sunday there will be large, like long streams. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks to the guy that you know chatted today, XQ. I was gonna do a how do you call it? Like a shout out to him because he was like I thought he was like the first chat user, but he was not the first one to chat. But again, uh, thanks for being in the stream and providing these couple technologies that I might need to get a look into it. So yeah, bye bye guys. Hasta luego. Ciao ciao. Buenas noches. How do I end stream? Okay, okay. Here's how. Bye bye.